Oh, fuck all you guys. I'm out.
You're essentially
Peace
dead.
out.
Could we call you for a podcast?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, I'd be like Henry Hill. You can call me. Do you reference? You guys got that?
What the fuck is that reference?
Goodfellas. Henry Hill used to call into the... What is the famous talk radio, like X radio with Howard Stern? He used to call in on the Howard Stern show even though he was in witness sec.
That's so stupid.
He came out, he got caught.
Yeah, because that's just really dumb.
Yeah, it was stupid. But granted, nobody in the mob wants him dead anymore anyways.
All right, so you probably wouldn't... I mean, none of us would last that long. I mean, ultimately, I'm sure we'd get caught. So, moving on. Buddy,
who would last the longest?
Ooh.
Out of the three of us.
Well, am I using the George voice disguise or not?
Yeah. If Buddy's using the George voice, he's a chameleon.
It's definitely me.
He's a fucking chameleon. There's no way you're going to find him. You know what I mean?
I don't know, out of the three of us.
It's so inconspicuous.
Who could look the most different from themselves
Me.
if they
Wyatt,
change
for
themselves?
sure.
I have long hair and a beard right
To
now.
remind our listeners, Wyatt looks a lot like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, I look just like him. You remember in the movie Fugitive, the main character, Harrison Ford, had long hair and a beard, and then he went into the hospital and cut that all off. He's a whole different person.
That is true. You would be the most,
You switched the samples! You switched the samples and you doctored your research!
Okay, next topic. Buddy, what do you got?
All right, my topic is we talk a lot about video games on the show, but one type of video game we never talk about are mobile games, like phone games. So my question is, do you have any mobile or phone games that you like, and what do you think the future of mobile gaming is?
I think the only time that we did talk about mobile games on the show was when we were talking about some statistics that we'd found about gamers these days, like who's a gamer, who identifies as a gamer, and etc. So I think my dad identifies as a gamer based off of he plays Words with Friends on his phone. You know what I mean? What mobile gaming offers people is the ability to access and easily learn and easily play a game. Just to have the what's the right word? To have the escape of playing a game. Whether that's the escape of I've got some time to kill in between my next meeting, or I've got to poop, or I'm watching a show with my wife that I don't really want to be watching, so I'm just going to play a game on my phone or something like that. Gaming is and always will be for escapism. It's to do something different. You know what I mean? It's to do something different. It's to be out of the real world. And so mobile gaming, offers people a quicker and easier and more intuitive chance to experience that than other forms of gaming, right? Because the barrier to entry for playing Dota like Wyatt does is buying a PC and having the time to play something like that. Or Buddy and I are console gamers, and you have to buy a $300, $400, $500 console to do that, and then $60 games on top of that. That's something that not everybody can afford to do or wants to do. But everyone has a phone, and these days it's a staggering amount of people have smartphones, obviously, and they have access to quick and easy, down and dirty games, and those games are getting better. Those games are getting more into it. They're getting more into some serious graphics. They're getting more into some serious online play. I downloaded a game the other day called Guns of Boom, I think it's called. Just because I was
Guns of Boom Boom.
Every once in a while, to answer your question, what my experience with mobile gaming is too, every once in a while I'll jump onto the App Store and download a new one just to see what it's like, because maybe at most I'll pay $1 for it or $2 to download a game and try it out that has good reviews. So I tried a shooter. And the shooters are really frustrating to play on your phone, obviously, just because of, the inherent lack of two thumbsticks, and that's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
But this game was actually pretty fun to play, and there was online play, and I was unlocking new guns, a la Call of Duty, and changing my loadout. And I'm like, damn, this is getting deep. If this was my only way to game, I wouldn't be that in the dark about modern trends and modern ways to play. I think mobile gaming is a legitimate platform to game these days, as legitimate as the Game Boy ever was, for sure. I can understand that people consider themselves gamers if that's all they do, and I don't think we're in a position necessarily to shit on them for that. That's kind of where I'm at.
I wouldn't shit on them, but I think they're shit.
Yeah. That's fair, though. Yeah,
I just think, there is Never been any game I've ever played on a phone or tablet that's ever captivated me ever in my life. The only games I have on my phone, I've given up long time ago. I used to try to find games that were free or something I could identify that I could play between classes or something. I only have Windows 95 type games on my phone. I have Solitaire.
Snake.
No, I don't have Snake, but I do have Spider Solitaire. I have Free Cell. I have those type of games on my phone. And I enjoy those. I'll play the card games. But there has never been ever a game that's ever captivated me that I've ever wanted. Not, you know, and then if you even count it, maybe like the Pokemon Go, like those type of games that are kind of... they're not really competitive, but they're more kind of fun social type games.
Yeah.
Never interested me. It's not that I don't consider them like gaming platforms, or if you're really into them, that's fine. I just think that the only purpose for your phone game is to pass the time.
Yeah.
Now, granted, so our video games pass the time, but they're more of a hobby or an activity. This is like I'm waiting in the waiting room to get my hair cut. I'm gonna play a goddamn.
You're trying to burn time
game.
more than pass it.
Yeah. You don't. I mean. Really, are you gonna like go out there and buy a whole series of the Halo Saga equivalent on the phone? Maybe people do, but like, I can't imagine any game out there that's gonna be the equivalent to a console or PC game. I just think they're stupid. Not stupid in the sense that they're dumb. I think they're not entertaining to me. So I don't want to shit on anybody that's into it. By all means, it's for you. I think they're boring. I would rather not play them.
The games that I have played most regularly on my phone are games that require like very little thought. Games that require like you can jump in and you can play it for 3 minutes, have a decent enough time and be done with it. Like I think of Flappy Wings, like that's the kind of game that I was like, all right, let's see how far I can get. Maybe I'll try it 2 or 3 times, but then I'm done.
Yeah.
Doodle Jump back in the day was another game that was like that, where you're just like, I'm going to try my best to beat this. It's kind of mindless. I can tune out while I play it. But, like, to Wyatt's point, like, I can't imagine playing, like, a full story shooter or a strategy
the new
game.
release? They're releasing the title for this.
Right.
Come on.
Right. No.
And they're all, like, the most generic, awful names, like Guns of Boom and, like... the Warriors Exile 4 or something like crazy, stupid.
I think I just think if I'm even if I'm in a waiting room and I want something to pass the time, I have articles that I read on I have apps that have for IGN or for crack.com and stuff. Like I read articles, so I would rather just pass
scroll
the time.
Facebook most of the time when I'm
passing
time.
Reddit.
It's already you have the ability to do that. I just don't think these games are necessary. What's the real
Candy Crush?
Candy Crush.
Kendall is obsessed.
I got to level like 236 or
I
something.
am motivated if you guys are on board to try to create the next Candy Crush. Not the game, but like if the person created Pokemon Go, Candy Crush, the Arnold Schwarzenegger game. Like
what would the game be?
I don't know, but if we want to come up with an idea now, we can I'm
we
game.
Can do
Off air. I don't want the Russians.
Oh, that's right. Don't steal our game, Norway.
We'll call it, there's Flappy Wings. We'll call it Slappy Dings. And it's just about...
It's about where would you place your 3 penises if you had them?
And it's just like an operation-style silhouette of a person, and you just have 3 penises that you can drag and, drop.
And you can share with others. It's like a social network.
Oh, my God.
Guys, stop
Shoot, we just
talking
talked about
it on the line.
No.
Delete the last 10 minutes.
Delete it. Hey,
It's gone.
George is he runs the boards. Can you delete that last couple seconds?
I'll get right on it, Brody.
Thanks, George.
Boards. I don't know.
It really sounds nothing like Buddy. That's amazing.
I've always wanted to create the next fidget spinner because those are real popular now. Like I've made millions of dollars on creating the stupidest thing that people have in their offices. I want to come up with the new fidget spinner, or the new pet rock idea.
Silly bands.
Yeah. Or you know those rubber things that you turn inside out and you put it down and it shoots up in the air. Those.
Condoms.
The little
Condoms.
poppers.
Condoms.
No,
condoms.
Rubber condoms for tiny dicks.
That's what you do with condoms.
Yes,
right?
That's what
except
they
you
were.
can win them at mini golf.
Yeah, rubber condoms for tiny dicks.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 22 of the Hold On To Your Butts podcast. Remember to subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, however you get your podcast. Leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. Drop us a line at geeks, that's GEEKS, at HOTYB.co. We love you. We thank you. We thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in every time to listen to our Game of Thrones. What are you saying, buddy? Buddy's saying, sponsor. That's right.
Wait, what was your pantomime? That had nothing to do with it.
I was writing my signature, and I was drinking this Dasani. But
buddy, why don't you give us our sponsor plug? Go ahead.
Well, if you go to Signatures over in Gahanna, Ohio, over in Creekside.
You're asking me. You're the guy doing the ad.
Well, I know, yeah.
You looking for validation? Let's go here.
I am. I'm not trained at this. I feel like, all right, if you're looking for a good drink in the Columbus area, go to Signatures in Gahanna, grab a drink, hopefully not a Dasani like I just pantomimed, but they have great beer, great selection of beer and food for you and your friends.
Really good food. We got to try the food a couple weeks back.
Some good pizza
really
and good wings.
Really good wings.
So go check them out. You'll have a great time. And thank you for sponsoring our show.
I think if you also, not to tell you how to do your job, buddy, but I think if you mention the Hold On To Your Butts podcast, you do get 5% off your bill.
Oh, that's right.
So just something to keep in mind.
How did I forget that?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for.
But seriously, guys, where would you put 3 vaginas?
Okay.
No!
George, give us our outro noise.
That's all, folks.
Okay, you can't just steal.
You can't steal somebody else's outro.